Most credit unions don't realize there is an issue or a gap until something breaks. Why do so many credit unions meet compliance but still experience downtime and operational disruption? The answer to that is compliance, when you think about it, is a minimum. It says, here's what you ought to do. Or in the case of compliance, it's here's what you have to do. And there are scenarios where you can check the box to say, yes, I'm doing this thing, and meet the strictest definition of the compliance requirements, but have it be just checking a box and not really integrating it operationally. This is where we see credit unions and many organizations fall down. You check a box that says, I have a DR plan and good backups, and that allows you to pass an audit. But unless you're doing regular testing under pressure of those systems, they're not going to work as well as they could if you did work through those processes. That's the reason we see people being compliant but still running into operational issues and stuff. What's typically happening behind the scenes in those environments? What we see is most IT environments in businesses, they weren't really strategically designed from the ground up. It was more an evolution over time. They start out meeting the bare needs. Over time, new tools get added, new devices. There isn't clear ownership on, the various systems, who owns what, who supports what, how do we get help if we need it. And usually when we see issues come up, it's not some major thing, it's something minor where it's caused by overall just a small gap in understanding. Something stops working. And why did it stop working? What was the source? How are things tied together to help you understand, where to look for the actual issue? This is why strategically planning your IT environment is so critical. It, one, helps eliminate the risk of downtime, but then if you do experience downtime, it shortens the window to recovery if everything is well understood, documented, and ideally practiced. What makes these issues especially risky for credit unions? Credit unions operate on trust on multiple levels. So even a small amount of downtime impacting a member's ability to access their money or the services provided affects that trust. Another thing to think about is on the security side, even a small breach that has to get reported affects that trust. When you're thinking about trust, it's on multiple levels. Can I serve my customers? They need to be able to trust us. But also, am I servicing my employees? Can they do their job? Can they get paid? So how should leadership start thinking about IT differently? IT has to be treated not as a collection of tools and expenses, but more as an operating system for the organization. It's about understanding how everything that's involved ties together to get the outcomes you want. We usually will present it as the people, the processes, and the tools. How do all of those items work together to get you the outcome that you need? And how often are you working through verifying that all of those work the way you think they do, the plans that you have work the way that you think they should, and really eliminating those assumptions? For a leadership team watching this, what is the right first step to improve stability and reduce risk? Most credit unions don't realize there is an issue or a gap until something breaks. This is super common. And that's exactly why we created our credit union IT risk and compliance checklist. This is a practical way to evaluate where small gaps that may be creating large operational risk are coming from and allow you to take the next step after that, which is our tech stack challenge, where we pressure test systems, looking at how they'll actually perform under real circumstances, and then produce for you a clear path to move forward towards stable, resilient, and more aligned IT.